Welcome to the Sacred Conversations with the Gigantic Intellect. Earlier on, I was reading a guide to the members of the executive. By members of the executive, I refer to the ministers, the deputy ministers, the MECs, and the premiers, and so forth. The reason I was triggered to read this particular document is because of the story that was trending on Twitter yesterday in regards to Gayton McKenzie. Gayton McKenzie is the president of the PA, Patriotic Alliance, and now serves as the Minister of Sports and Arts and Culture. It is being alleged that he spent 800,000 in the trip that he attended in France, in the Olympics in France, where he spent, I think it was 7 days, if I'm not mistaken. And he also issued a statement where he was in a way trying to be transparent about the money that he has spent, and it is in fact factual that he spent more than 800,000 on that particular trip where he spent, I think, 7 days. That is the reason I decided to read the members of the executive guide. As I look at these monies, I was so terrified and confused in a way. Confused by these exorbitant monies. I say they're exorbitant monies because 800,000 per week is someone's salary for 2 years. 800,000 is someone's salary for 2 years. So it's also someone's salary for 3 years, for 5 years. And you have a government official, a politician, spending that money in a week. And I'm not in a way saying it is only Gayton McKenzie who is doing this. It is probably everyone in cabinet who is doing this. The reason I decided to speak about this is because government officials are paid, or everyone who works for the government is paid by the taxpayers' money, meaning that the taxes that we contribute, the taxes that are being deducted on our monies are the very same monies that sponsor these politicians, the luxurious life that these politicians are living. Of course, taxpayers' money funds so many things because everyone who works for the government is paid through these taxes. And the reason I was triggered to just formulate a video and express my thoughts was mainly to say, what picture are these politicians portraying to the people that they claim to represent? To the people that they claim to represent. Because politicians are the very same people that would accuse white people of privilege and whatever. Same people that would say we are fighting for the poor. So how are you fighting for me when you are spending 800,000 per week? How are you representing me? Because to me, as a broke person, I say, but this person is wasteful. That money could have spent on this and that. So I come to the point where I say, if it was his money, was he going to spend it this way? If it was your money, were you going to spend 800,000 per week? Were you going to book the very same hotel that you booked? Were you going to book a flight that you booked? Were you going to eat the meals that you have eaten from that particular restaurant or from that particular hotel? If it was your money, were you going to spend it on such luxurious institutions? Were you going to drive the very same car? So those are the questions that I was actually asking to say. And this happens in every department. This happens in every department where people are spending these monies because it is not their monies in a way. When something is not yours, you mostly don't respect it most of the time. And that is the reason you have our government running this way. It's because these people do not feel any attachment to the monies that they spend. They don't feel any personal attachment to these monies, and that is the reason they are so wasteful to these monies. Same with something that I was complaining about. I'm a teacher by profession, and I was working in the particular institution where I used to see children destroying the properties, the tables, the chairs that they use. And one of the reasons they're destroying these properties is because they would say to you, but this thing is not mine. So just because of it means that you must destroy it. That is what they actually say. And what they fail to understand is that the properties that they say they're not theirs, these are the properties that were bought by their parents' money, taxpayers' money. So that is the very same thing, same culture that has been inculcated in these politicians. They spend these monies because they don't feel any personal attachment to these monies. But there are people who are working very, very hard for these to earn monies, and they are being taxed higher. There are businesses that are so successful, that have worked so hard, are being taxed higher, and the money that is gotten from those businesses is spent by these politicians on the first-class hotels, on the first-class accommodation, for first-class transportation, first-class flights. So for me, that is very, very problematic for me. I see this as a problematic thing to say. Of course, it is not only Gayton, but Gayton has exposed something that is prevalent in government and how politicians are actually spending taxpayers' money. And after I've witnessed this, I say to the politician, we must come to a point where we say government should only provide safe security and accommodation for these politicians. But when it comes to the foods that are being eaten in that particular accommodation, it must be you. When it comes to the transportation that you're using, it must be you. Why am I saying that? Because when a doctor, when a teacher, when a police officer, and everyone who works for the government are deciding, let's say, to move from Limpopo to working in Cape Town, no government pays for his transportation. No one is going to pay for the rooms that he's going to live in. No one is going to pay for the foods that he will be eating. Then why should we be paying for these politicians to go there? Okay, when it comes to traveling, of course, government can pay on that particular one. Traveling to, say, moving from South Africa to France and representing the country, okay, government can pay there. But the accommodation that you're going to use, you must be the one that's paying for it. The foods that you're going to eat, you must be the one that you're going to pay for it. The government must only make sure that you are safe in whatever accommodation you're going to use. Because government doesn't pay for the accommodation of teachers, government doesn't pay for the accommodation of doctors, government doesn't pay for the accommodation of police officers. So why should we be paying for the accommodations of politicians? We're being told that no, they're doing government's work. Aren't teachers doing the government's work? But yet we pay for our own accommodation. We pay for rent. Politicians do not pay for rent. So what is so special about politicians that when they are doing government's work, they should have accommodation being paid for them? Whereas there's someone that's doing a government work, but government doesn't pay specifically for his accommodation. He uses his salary to pay for all these things. So those are my problems, to say politicians have become demigods, have become kings. And taxpayers' money, it is money that has now been used to fund the luxurious and exorbitant lifestyles of politicians. That is what is happening. Taxpayers' money is used to fund these things. But yet they go to the people and say, we are representing you. You are representing me by living this exorbitant life with my money. You know, you're not representing me. You're not representing me. If you were representing me, you're going to be very cautious on how you spend those monies. Of course, I wasn't gonna speak about this if politicians were doing things accordingly and properly. The reason I'm compelled to speaking about these matters is because we are in a country where the economy is struggling. And one of the reasons the economy is struggling is because government, or rather the politician, have made decisions that have impacted negatively on the economy. They are the very same people that have caused Eskom to be where it is now. And Eskom is at the foundation, at the center of our economy, because majority of the businesses need electricity to run. And government has destroyed Eskom, has made Eskom tariffs to electricity to be very expensive. Many businesses are struggling because of the decision of politicians. So that is the reason I'm talking about this. It's because politicians are getting privileges. They're getting free accommodation, free transportation, free safety, free meals when they are in parliament, when they're going to parliament, when they're going to trips, overseas trips, and when they're doing their work. Actually, everything is being paid for. Yet politicians are the very same people that when a tender is being issued in their department, they want to use their friend to bid for them. They're still, again, earning a salary, adding to that. So everything is being paid for these politicians, but yet they want to bid for all these tenders. Why? Why? Greed. They're the very same people that are going to accuse white people of being greed. But I can argue that the people that are mostly greed are the politicians. These are the people that are mostly greed because the money that they are using, it is not theirs. It is the taxpayers' money. And they want to take everything for themselves. And when it comes election time, they go to the very same people and say, we are fighting for you. We want to punish these white people. We want to make sure that these white people distribute their wealth. But yet they don't speak about them wasting money. They don't speak about the trips that they attend, the expensive hotels that they book. They don't speak about those ones. And when the country experiences budget deficits, they don't speak about cutting their own transportation, cutting their own accommodation, cutting their own whatever. No, they don't speak about their privileges. Their privileges remain untouched. They go to the Department of Education and cut the budget so that the department can also cut the teachers in the department. Those are the things that they do. But when it comes to their privileges, they don't speak about that. When a government, say, goes to parliament, why should we be paying for the accommodation? Because that is his work and he can afford to pay for himself. But we are paying for him. But people who are not affording these things, we're not paying for them. But we pay for people who are affording these things because the salaries of these government politicians, they are more than 100,000. These people earn more than 100,000 a month. But yet they still want everything to be paid for them. So is this the kind of the society that we want to live in? So for me, as I was reading this particular executive book, I thought to myself, but these politicians have so many privileges. They should not be the same people that are bidding for these tenders. They should not be the same people that are eating government's money through corruption. Because the report says in the last 10 years, from 2013 to 2023, 1.5 trillion was lost to corruption. 3-point-something billion was given to the bailouts. 300-and-something billion given to bailouts. But yet you still have these politicians living a luxurious life, cutting the budgets of departments, but yet they're not cutting the budget of themselves, of their own luxurious life. Because they They buy expensive cars, expensive securities, expensive accommodation, expensive meals. But yet they say they are representing the people. If you were representing the people, you should have been cautious on how you spend these monies. You should have been cautious of how you spend these monies. And again, I was also troubled by something that I've read from that particular book that says a deputy minister cannot represent the minister in his absence. So you're having this person that is deputizing the minister, but yet when the minister is not there, this person cannot stand on behalf of the minister. Then why do we have this person in this department? This shows clearly that we don't need deputy ministers. Then why do we have them? A director general does most of the work, DG in this department, and a director general in his position can serve as a deputy minister, because that's what he actually does. That's what he actually does. We don't need a formal deputy minister. We can have the director general doing the very same duties that the minister is doing or that the deputy minister is doing. Why do we have these deputy ministers? Because you say they cannot act on behalf of the minister. They say the minister can appoint whomever they like to stand in his behalf or to stand on her behalf. Same with the deputy president. The deputy president, we have seen a week ago, Cyril was attending a particular meeting overseas, and he appointed Gwede Mantashe to be the acting president in his absence. But yet, Mashatile was there. So we have all these useless positions that are not actually important, but that you'll also have in a department where, especially in these recent appointments, these GNU appointments, where you have two deputy ministers in a department. Sure, what are they doing, man? What are they doing? Because if you check, majority of the work, implementation work, is done by the DG and his staff. DG is the professional that knows the job. These people we are being told that they are representing the policy direction of the department, whatever. But the minister, how can you represent the policy direction when you are three in a department? Three people. One deputy minister, one minister, two deputy ministers. All of them are representing the policy direction of the department. That is wasteful, man. That is very, very wasteful. And these people, politician and socialism, comes to the idea that I used to think socialism is a good thing. That's what I used to think. But what you get with socialism or communism is that you would have, it's good on paper, of course. It's good on paper, but practically, it doesn't make sense. In a communist society, you would have majority of the things being owned by the government. So in a communist society, politicians are the kings and demigods. That's what you get. So that you'd get something that is worse than what we have. Right now, the taxpayers' money are being used to fund the lifestyle of politicians. And lifestyle of politicians is very expensive. The government can not afford to pay for such a lifestyle. They don't want to go for cheaper hotels. They don't want to go for cheaper transportation. They don't want to buy cheaper cars. They want to live a luxurious life with taxpayers' money. And yet, after 5 years, they come to us and say, we are representing you. No, you are not representing me. You are not. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I know that I'm saying all these things, but there's nothing that's going to change. But politicians must just be exposed for who they are. And kudos to Gayton for exposing the corruption, the exorbitant monies that are being spent in these departments. And I also blame him because it's part of the cabal, part of the people that are wasting government's money. I don't care whether he donated his money to whoever, charity or whatever. I don't care. But he's busy spending so much money, and donating your money to a charity doesn't mean you must go and have these luxurious hotels. No, no. I only give him kudos because he has exposed how much monies there are being spent in government and has opened our eyes to say these people are spending our monies and we must deal with them. We must deal with these people. So politicians are the reason why we are suffering as a country and are the reason why majority of the countries are not doing well economically and socially. Until we deal with politicians, because these are the people that make critical decisions and they don't even take accountability for their bad decisions. It is the people that are going to take accountability for their bad decisions. When they make bad decisions and they want more tax, they increase tax. When they've made more poor decision and they want to raise more money, they raise tax, they raise, what do you call this, VAT, they raise all whatever. They punish the people for their poor decision. So I make a poor decision, yet I punish someone for my own poor decision. What do you call that? What do you call that? So politicians are very, very useless. And the sooner we realize this, the better. Because they are not representing the people. I begin to hate democracy, voting and whatever. Because I strongly believe that the nation can run smoothly without politicians. Can run very smoothly without politicians. Politicians are very, very, very destructive. They are very destructive. And they've caused so much damage to many countries without any accountability. What they do, when they punish a politician by removing him from the position, that is the only punishment that he gets. But for the poor decision that he made, there's no punishment for that. So politics and politicians, very toxic people. A country can run without those people. A country can run without those people. They even give us policies that do not make human sense. They can't even develop policies that make sense. So how are they going to solve our lives? Because we currently don't actually, speaking for myself, I currently don't have a politician, a political party that I can say it represents me on particularly looking at their policy. And when you vote for a better devil, they will say, no, people are happy with us doing this and that in parliament. People are happy with the GNU. People voted for the GNU, but no one voted for the GNU. It is you who decided because you didn't have enough votes to govern. You are the one that decided to form a GNU. But you say it is me who voted for the GNU. How ridiculous is that? How ridiculous is that? These ones with socialist policies, they would say, no, people are happy with the socialists, with socialism. That's the reason they voted for us. Reason? Happy with socialism? Go and check how people live and check what is the philosophy that they like through their action, not through their mouth. And what is the philosophy that works? I'm not saying socialism doesn't work completely. And I'm not also saying capitalism works completely. But these people think that when we are voting for them, we approve everything that they represent. No, we don't. When we are voting for the DA, we don't approve of everything that they are doing. We know that they are racist sometimes. We know that they are very, very. They stand for the minority. They are fighting for white people who are rich. They are fighting for the best interest of white and rich people. EFF, with their policies, they would say, no, we are happy. People are happy with us being destructive in parliament. No, we are not happy with that. We only vote for you because you are a better devil. We only vote for you because you are a better devil. ANC would say, no, we got 40%. 40% of the country still happy with us. No, they voted for their own better devil because there was no option for them to vote for. So they chose you because there is no better option for them. So these politicians should stop saying people love them. People don't actually approve of what they're doing. They're only voting for them because of their better devils. I don't think we even have a best political party in South Africa. So what is the reason we engage in election and politics? Because If you can even check the number of people that are voting, very, very few people are voting. Majority of this country, if we were to be democratic, majority of this country doesn't want election. That in itself, it's a democratic process to say people are not happy with the system. Then why should we continue with the system? Because they've realized that this system is a scam. Democracy is a scam. It's a scam. Because you have these people that comes to us after 5 years to say, no, we are going to do this and that. After you give them power, they're not doing it. They start being arrogant, start speaking bad of the people that have voted for them, start being arrogant to the people that have voted for them. That's what politicians do. This is the gigantic intellect. Know thyself and remember your ancestors. Peace.